Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my March book haul. So I said in my February book haul that I'd gone a little crazier than usual and I had bought more books than what I usually did. I went even crazier in March. I actually only have 7 books to show you from the library, which is pretty good. But I actually have more books than that to show you that I now own. So let's just jump straight in because I got a lot of books to talk about. As always, let's start with the library books. The first book I picked up from the library is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This book I picked up to complete the challenge on the Around the Year in 52 Books of reading a book on a summer or beach reading list. I'm surprised to see this on a summer or beach reading list because this is a gothic like a gothic horror, I guess, story. I don't know if you would classify it horror, but it's a gothic read. I have seen the movie. I really enjoyed the movie, but I've always wanted to read the book, so I decided to give this one a go, and I'm really excited to read it, and I hope I enjoy it as much as I did the movie. The next book I picked up from the library is Haunted House by Emily Rodda. This is one of the books in the Teen Power Inc. / Raven Hills Mystery series, and I am so excited because this is my favorite of the books in that series that I remember from my childhood. So I'm really excited to get to this one, you guys. The next book that I picked up from the library is Night Beach by Kirsty Eager. This book I actually picked up to fulfill the challenge of reading a book from the Goodreads recommendations page. I went to my Goodreads recommendations page and I scrolled through to find something that looked semi-interesting, and I settled on this one at the time. I now can't really remember what this is about. It does say on the back that it's a gothic story, so that may have been what drew me into it because I do really enjoy gothic stories, but apart from that I don't really know anything else. The next book I have from the library is Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. This is a classic book, obviously. I've been wanting to read more classics. I made it through all of Jane Austen's books and I've been reading a bit of Wilkie Collins, but I just kind of went alphabetically through the classic section at my library, and this is one that I have heard about, that I've always wanted to read, but I have no idea what it's about. So I'm really sucking on the synopsis thing today, but I do look forward to reading it. Next, I have The Case of Crazy Claude by Emily Rodda. This is another book in the Teen Power Inc. / Raven Hills Mystery series. I also have Volume 9 of Morning Glories that I picked up from the library. And the final book I picked up from the library is Missoula, Rape and the Justice System in a College Town by John Krakauer. This is a book that I mentioned in one of my marked as to read videos. It obviously deals with rape. It is a non-fiction book. I picked this up actually to fulfill the challenge of reading a non-fiction book. Because this is something that just sounds really interesting to me, and I can't wait to get to it and see what this has to say. So those are all the books that I picked up from the library in March, but now let's jump into all the physical books that I acquired for myself this month. The first book I have here to show you actually turned up on the 29th of February, but I had already filmed my February book haul at that point. So this one technically didn't come to me in March, but I will include it here, and that is Vicious by Sarah Shepard. This is the final book in the Pretty Little Liars series. This is a series that I have invested a lot of time in, and I'm really excited to finish it off and finally find out exactly everything that went down. And I really hope all the loose ends are tied up in this, because I'm going to be real pissed if they aren't. Now, a secondhand bookshop in the city here in Adelaide was having a big 50-cent sale. I went along to that, and unfortunately I only ended up getting one book for 50 cents, and that was The Husband by Dean Koontz. I actually have no idea what this is about, but I've heard a lot about Dean Koontz. I read one of his books when I was much younger. I saw this and it interested me, so I decided to pick it up for 50 cents. However, because they didn't have a lot of selection in the 50 cents, I did go into the store because it was only what was outside the store that was on sale, and I ended up picking 3 books up from inside the store. These were only $3 each though, so I am like okay with picking up, you know, more books from inside the store. And the first of those is Beautiful Malice by Rebecca James. Again, I don't really know what this is about. I really suck today, you guys, sorry. But this is, I've read some other books by Rebecca James that I have really enjoyed, and I know I have quite a few books from her on my TBR. So I am definitely excited to check out this book and find out what it's about. Next, we have a book that I have actually had on my wish list for quite a while, so I was really excited to see it there, and that is You by Caroline Kepnes. This is a book that I'm sure you all know what it is about. It is a book about a stalker that is told in second person. I'm really excited. It's not in super great condition. It's not in bad condition, but the corners are just like really bent and things like that. But I figure if I really love this, I can always buy my own copy, but for $3, I just couldn't look past it. And the final book from there I picked up is Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. Again, I don't really know what this is about, but I've seen a few people talk about it on BookTube, and I understand that this has a really great twist in it, I believe, and I believe it also deals maybe with some LGBTQIA plus themes, I think, so I was happy to pick it up, see it there for $3 and pick it up and give it a go. Now, after that sale, I was a little disappointed that they were only the books that I'd got and I hadn't managed to score more for cheap, so I ended up going into Target to make myself feel better, and I ended up buying 3 books in Target. The first of those is My Sister Rosa by Justine LaBallestière. This is a book that I mentioned in my marked as to read video for March. This book deals with a boy who believes that his sister is a psychopath. I don't know too much more about it than that, but it sounds really, really interesting. Katrina from Little Book Owl talked about it and said that it was really great, so I was definitely excited to pick this one up because this is by an Australian author. I also picked up Summer Skin by Kirsty Eager. Oh, I just realized that this is actually by the same author as Night Beach, which I picked up from the library. I had not realized that, but I also talked about this in my March marked as to read video. This I picked up because I'd heard about it on Goodreads. I saw someone read it 5 stars and say that it was one of the sexiest romances that they had read in a while. I don't know too much about it. I believe it's about some girls from a private school trying to like get back at some guys who humiliated one of their friends or something like that. I don't know too much about it apart from that, but I was excited to buy it. And the final book I picked up on that trip is actually What I Saw by Beck Nicholas. This is a book that I believe is by an Australian author, and this is about a bad boy and a good girl who kind of end up spending this like kind of night together, and then there is this other kid who is king hit, and the police accuse this bad boy of having done it, but he knows that this good girl who has always done the right thing, she knows that he didn't do it, but she, for some reason, won't tell the police, and she's kind of hiding some secret, and that's all I really know. I don't know. I may be butchering that synopsis, but that's what I think this is about, and it just looks really interesting, and so I decided to buy it. Next, I was around at my parents' place and I was looking through my mom's bookshelf because that's what I enjoy doing, and I saw some books that I was really surprised to see, and when I asked my mother about them, she had no idea where they came from, and so she just told me that I could have them, so of course I took them. The first of those is Stray by Rachel Vincent. This is a book that is part of an urban fantasy series following Werecats, I believe. I've heard quite a few people talk about this on BookTube, so I was really excited to see it on my mum's shelf and get this. This is the first book in a series, so I will have to pick up the other books if I enjoy this, but I was really excited to see it there. She also had The Husband's Secret by Leanne Moriarty. I've only read one other book from Leanne Moriarty, but I also have another book of hers from the library at the moment that I haven't got to yet. I don't know what this one is about, but I believe she writes all psychological thrillers, so I'm excited to get to this one at some point. I also picked up from my mum Where the Heart Is by Billy Letts. I didn't know this was a book, but I have seen the movie, which stars, as you can probably tell, Natalie Portman and Ashley Judd. I enjoyed the movie. I actually believe that I own it on DVD, so I'm excited to check the book out and see what I think of it. And the final book that I picked up from my mother, which is one that I actually believe she will want back, is One Last Dance, Patrick Swayze by Wendy Lee. This is actually a non-fiction story about Patrick Swayze's life. I love Patrick Swayze, and so I'm just really interested to check this out. It's not too long, so I think I should be able to get through this quickly and just learn more about his life, so I was really excited to pick this one up. And finally, we have 4 books that I purchased myself from the Book Depository. The first of those is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is a book that I'm sure you've all heard about. I don't know exactly what it's about, except I know it's about a circus, obviously. it's like a magical circus that only appears kind of at random times, and there's two people who kind of are having like some kind of magic battle or something like that. I've heard really, really good things about it. I was a little disappointed that this turned out to be, I didn't realize this was like a mass market paperback edition, but I do still like kind of the cover with the black and white and little like red accents, so it's okay. But yeah, so I picked this one up. I also picked up Unite Me by Tahera Moffi. This includes the two novellas Destroy Me and Fracture Me. I only have the Shatter Me book of this series, but I'm hoping to pick up the final two books in the trilogy, and I know that just a lot of people say that these two novellas are really important, so I wanted to have these as well for when I do get to that series. Next, I picked up Point of Retreat by Colleen Hoover. This is the sequel to Slammed, which is a book that I actually got for my birthday last year. And so I picked up the sequel this month. And the final book I have to show you guys is Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. This is a book that I believe is about angels and something to do with deadly sins. I don't know. I've just been interested in this series for a little while. I actually really like these covers, which is weird because I think they're really cheesy, and I don't usually really like people on the covers that much, but I just kind of like these for some reason. It's probably the dress, to be honest. But so I picked up this one. It is the first book in, I think it's a trilogy. I don't know when I'll get to this. It'll probably be a while, but I bought it, so I'm showing it to you. So those are the books that I bought and got from the library and got from my mother in March. As you can see, there were quite a few books here. And as I said, I went crazy in February, and I can already tell that April is going to be kind of a similar month. I already have 2 different orders from Book Depository that I've placed already in April, and it's only the 9th, so April could shape up to be a really large book haul as well. I would love to chat to you guys if you have any thoughts about any of these books that I've bought, or any like fantastic books that you guys bought in March. I would love to just chat to you guys in the comments down below. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more. But that's all I've got for this video today. Bye guys.